Yeah. We back, ladies and gentlemen. We back. The weekend is over with. We appreciate y'all so much, man. We are continuing this Auburn football schedule breakdown. And we're going to get into it tonight. We're going to get into Georgia tonight, the breakdown of Georgia. We're going to get into it right after this right here. Let us go.
Boys and girls of all ages, you're tuned into the Water Cooler Talk podcast, the biggest podcast in the world. Yeah.
You are now tuned in to Water Cooler Talks, covering everything you love about college football, especially everything going down in the SEC conference. So, if you love college football, you need to lock in. And now, your hosts, Nick Frazier and Marcus Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, boy. We back around the Water Cooler, man. We appreciate y'all so much for rocking with us. My name is Nick Frazier, one half of the Water Cooler Talk podcast. And the man you hear him or see him, tell him who you are, boss, man.
Marcus Fitzpatrick. Let's go. Let's get it.
Yes, sir, man. We are back off the weekend, man. This is a weekend. And we back, man. It is Monday. Monday, man. It is April 12th. No, not April 12th. My bad. It is May 12th.
May 12th.
Monday, May 12th. And we back off the weekend. Marcus, how was your weekend, man?
I can't complain, man. It was Mother's Day weekend, man. And
it truly was.
How was your mother, man? How's she doing?
Doing all right. All of them doing well. Everybody doing great. Can't complain. I hope everybody that's a mother out there had a great Mother's Day. Hope you got everything that you wanted. Hope you got all the love and all the flowers and all the candy and food and dinners and everything. And most importantly, the camaraderie. You got a chance to see your kids, or you got a chance to at least talk to them. So hopefully you got a chance to see that.
I went broke this weekend.
Hey, that's what's up there, man. I feel you on that, man. So we hope all y'all had a great Mother's Day weekend, man. But it's back to this week. We are continuing this Auburn football breakdown, Auburn football schedule breakdown. And we're gonna get into it right after this, man. Make sure y'all follow us on Facebook at the Water Cooler Talk Podcast, man. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at the Water Cooler Talk. On Twitter, follow us on Twitter at CoolerSpot23. And of course, subscribe, like, share, and hit the notification bell button here on YouTube. Help us out, man. We're just trying to grow. We know we in the dead period of college football sports. You know, soon that should pick up after June, and we'll start seeing a lot of more people and stuff like that. But help us keep sharing the content. Let people know that we out here, that we talking about this Auburn football and this SEC football and this recruiting and everything that has to do with college football, man. We enjoy talking about it. So we appreciate y'all so much for rocking with us here around the Water Cooler as always, man. Let's get into the comment section, man, before we get into this, man, because see a lot of comments here so far, man. Let's see what's going on, man. Auburn Dad said, War Eagle, let's go. What up, Dad? How you feeling, man? He said, well, I so want to end the drought, but a large mountain to overcome. I don't know if it's going to be that large. Auburn Dad. We're going to get into it, but I don't know if it's going to be that large. It's still a mountain. But I don't know if it's going to be that large. We're going to see, man. Auburn Dad said, just found out YouTube can delete posts without your knowledge. If you did start talking about beating a team so bad, I think it's cyberbullying about a football game. Oh, interesting. Marcus, when you saying that some people was getting well, I know I saw that some people was getting unsubscribed from channels.
Yep.
That's crazy. Wow.
I got unsubscribed from my channel.
I'm trying to figure out what's up with that. Like, why is YouTube doing that? But that okay, they think you're talking about beating up a team. I guess. But it's like you said, it's a football game. So I don't know if AI can differentiate that good and bad of AI, I guess. Tim said, man, Water Cooler. I'm trying to stop cursing. So I'm just say War dang Water Cooler. That's what it is. Shout out to Tim and Taylor, man. What up? He's saying, what's up to Tim? His Royal Highness has entered the chat. King Richard is here with us. What up, King? How you feeling, my guy? Hope all is good with you, man. Everybody speaking to King. Everybody speaking to Auburn Dad and the tool Maine Taylor, the legend of Sweet Sugar Bear Williams, the Huggy Beard. What's up, man? What's up? What's going on, man? How you feeling? Auburn Dad said, "Baby Nick and Marcus." Whoops, I mean the adult.
Hey, that was hard though.
Shout out to DC, man.
That was hard. That was tight.
Shout out to DC. DC, if you don't know what you're talking about, go over to Auburn Addicts channel and take a look at the last video he dropped. I
want to show my kids.
He had baby Nick, he had baby Mayor, he had baby Tight,
baby Tez,
baby B Sharp, baby Slasia. Who else? It was somebody else we missed. We missing somebody else. Oh no, that's everybody.
Bubba.
Yeah, baby Bubba and baby Bubba from Bubba and the Old Man. So shout out that, man. Make sure y'all go check that out, man. That was dope. That was dope.
Show my kids.
That was dope, bro. That was real dope, man. Yeah, make sure y'all go check that out, man. Huggy said, "What's happening, Nick? Not much. Huggy, man. Hope you're doing all right, man. You know, we just trying to do what we can, man. Did you see what Cole Kubler ranked Auburn O-line number 3 in the conference? Good sign. I said that. I said, you know what I noticed, man. You know what I noticed? A lot of the stuff, and I'm pretty sure these people don't watch our channel. They don't. I'm pretty sure they don't. But a lot of stuff that I said probably like 2-3 weeks ago, I did whole videos on Auburn offensive line. And I said that this offensive line particularly could be the best, if not one of the top 2 offensive lines in the SEC. I said that. Now, all the national pundits are starting to come out. Well, I'm not saying all of them, but you have some national pundits that have more notoriety than we do, saying the exact same thing that I said 2 months ago. Man, I'm telling y'all, man. I do my research, man. I do my research. I ain't gonna say nothing unless I have researched it, thought about it in a 360-degree way, and then come up with an idea for it. So I tell you, man, I said that 2 months ago. But shout out to Cole Kubler, though. Shout out to Cole Kubler. Shout out to him, man. I saw that. That's a good sign. I'm telling you. What it do, big dog? Marcus, what's up?
What's up, Huggy?
Yeah, man. Shout out to Auburn's baseball team and softball team. Yeah, shout out to him, man. I think Auburn's baseball team and softball team is going to be ranked number 2 that's playing in Tallahassee. I think it's the softball team. And then the baseball team is just, I think the baseball team is like top 10 in the country. Like Omaha. That's all I'm gonna say. Sweet Sugar Bear in purity good mode. And like that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, Huggy. That's what I'm talking about, man. Shout out to the Huggy, man. Shout out to all them big dog, boss hog players and hustlers. That's what I'm talking about, man. War Eagle, man. We need to keep it close. I don't think we just gonna be. They're gonna be this crazy. I'm with you though, my guy C Hall, man. I'm with you on that one. I don't think this mountain is as high as people think it is with this Georgia team this year. Georgia's still gonna have a good team, but I don't think it's as high as people think it will be. Shout out to Maddie Penta, Auburn's first softball All-American. That's what I'm talking about.
Shout out.
Softball team. That's what I'm talking about. That's what's up. Everybody saying what's up to C Hall. What up, man? Baby Hugh. Oh, that's right. Baby Hugh. Baby Hugh was on there too. He did the Baby Hugh. Baby Hugh. What it is. Yeah. Look. He said, right. Tight sounded like a young Forrest Gump. What? And then he said, Nick, the only one with a beard. I did. I don't know why. He gave me a beard. He gave my baby a beard. He gave my baby a beard. I was like, huh? I like, all right, dude. It is cool though, but you know, it is what it is. You know,
he gave you a patchy beard too.
Yeah, it would have been. You know what? If he would have gave me a baby beard, like if he would have gave me like a baby beard, like a shadow, that would have been funny. That would have been funny.
He gave you the grown.
He gave me the
He gave you the 9 to 5 beard. That beard, no, nothing but work.
Oh man, DC went off, man. Nick with the baby beard and Bama baby ball. I tell you, man, that was dope. That was a dope video, bro.
All he needed was our voiceover.
That's it.
If he would have had voiceover, it'd be crazy.
That would have been a lot more work. I'm telling you, that would have been a lot more work in the editing part. I remember you said that, and we added the sky is the limit to this team if this offensive line comes. See what I'm saying, King? I said this. We did a whole video. I did a whole video on Auburn's offensive line. And I said Auburn's offensive line was going to be one of the top 2 in the SEC, if not the top. That's what I said. But it's nice to know. It's nice. We just don't have the notoriety yet. We ain't got that yet, Marcus. We ain't got that yet. But it's good to know that. It's good to know that other that people think the way that we think. So It's all good, man. I ain't tripping on it. I just know I just did the research on what around the league, and I just saw Auburn's offensive line. I was like, it's probably the best, if not one of the top 2 offensive line in the country. So it is what it is, man. Reckon why you put my comment twice? Definitely didn't type it twice. I don't know, man. YouTube be doing some crazy stuff sometimes. Like Auburn Dash saying comments getting deleted, people getting unsubscribed to channels. Like it's weird. They don't want us to win, man. But you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna win. That's what we're gonna do, in the words of DJ Khaled, man. That's what it is. Seahawks said, bro, y'all weren't gonna get that 1,000%, 1,000 quick. I receive it.
I just can't wait till the season start.
I receive it, man.
Oh, crazy. Robert, what's up, Robert?
Mill, what up, Rob? He said a brother can't get no love. You did say that O-line would be a top one. I did, man. I did. I said it. I said that. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, man. It's cool. But like I said, we just ain't got the notoriety. That's all it is. And shout out to Cole Kubler, because Cole Kubler kind of see what I saw. I guess, he kind of see what I saw. Auburn baseball ranked number 2. Softball is headed to Tallahassee. That's right. Softball is headed to Tallahassee. Auburn baseball top 10 team, top 5 team. So that's what's up, man. I'm here. What up, fellas? War Eagle. What up, Ant? How you feeling?
Tyrone,
he'll be. I'm pretty sure Tyrone gonna slide through. If not, he gonna come watching on the rewatch. Hopefully, man. So we'll see what's up. What's up, Auburn Dad from Anthony Allen. 5 Adam in here saying update on in-state recruiting.
It's a big weekend coming up.
It is a big weekend coming up.
A lot of visits coming up, 5 Adam. A lot of visits coming up this weekend.
Big weekend coming up this weekend, bro. You got this weekend, and then I think the last weekend of May, and then I think like the weekend of the 13th and the 15th of June is going to be a big weekend for Auburn as well. So Darian Morgan is planning on making his commitment this summer, actually, before the season starts. So that's actually kind of surprising, because I actually thought he would probably be one of those guys that make his commitment later on in the season after seeing what happens. But I'm gonna be real with you. With him making his commitment this early, I think it does not bode well for Auburn. I don't think it bodes well for Auburn if he's made his commitment this early. I'm just gonna put that out there. I don't think it does, but I don't know. I don't know. Marcus, what up from Robert Smith? What up, man? That's what he said.
Robert, what's up?
As Lord Commander of all things beard related, old Huggy was gonna point out the baby beard's whackness. Hey, it was not whack. It was a baby beard. That's what it was. It was a baby beard. It wasn't all the way in yet. Y'all seen my beard. My beard is very full and luscious and stuff because it's an adult. But that was a baby with a beard. It's a baby beard. That's what it was, man. But it was dope, man. Make sure I go check out that video over on Auburn Addicts TV, man. Great video. Baby Hugh, Freeze, all of us, the Avengers. Man, that was dope, man. Why do us Auburn fans think that just because we got Deuce, we don't need any quarterbacks for the next 3 years? That's a good question. But and I talked about this as well.
We got one visiting Saturday.
Yeah, we do. Who?
The one from Jackson.
Yeah. Landon Duckworth. Yeah, which is interesting because Travis Burgess is now trending towards North Carolina. So I guess they're trying to get back into Landon Duckworth sweepstakes. But Landon Duckworth, I think Landon Duckworth is, if I had to guess, this is no inside news. If I had to guess, I think Landon Duckworth probably is trending more towards Ole Miss. He's been there a lot. So that's what I would see, man. We'll see what happens though, man. I still think Travis Burgess potentially could be in this Auburn class as there. But that's a good point there. That's a good point, Tim. The thing around that is the fact that if everything goes well this season, you potentially lose two quarterbacks this season. So this is one of the seasons where you do have to go out and get another quarterback. If Jackson Arnold plays well this year, he potentially could be gone to the NFL. Ashton Daniels' eligibility is running out, so you only have Deuce left. So you're going to be in the portal for another quarterback at the end of this year. It's that's it anyway. Just to have a full room. Even if they only hold 3 scholarship quarterbacks, you still gonna have to go get another quarterback in the portal. And if Jackson Arnold balls out and leaves, you still gonna need another quarterback to be either competing for QB1 or be the backup. So it's gonna be interesting to see. Auburn, that said, that helps Bama. Yeah, I agree with you on the Cedarian Morgan tip. I think him committing this early, I think it's supposed to be in July, if I'm not mistaken. End of July or August. He's supposed to commit.
That's a weird commitment, man.
That's what I'm saying. He's doing it before the season. I think that bodes well for Alabama, not for Auburn. But we'll see what happens. Anything can change. Anything can change.
It's something decommits and recommits in this day and age. It really don't hold no weight like it used to.
I don't know. I feel like Sedarian Morgan gonna make his commitment, and unless something just drastically changes.
Yeah, I think he want to go to Bama though. That's the thing.
I don't know about that. I don't know. The impression that I get from him from stuff that the interviews that I have watched, it seems as if he's just the person that just when he makes his decision, he's thought it all the way through. For his age, he's started all the way through. He's made a decision, and unless something drastically changes, then he's gonna change his mind. Other than that, I just don't. I see him making his decision and sticking with it. That's what I see. And you could be right. That could be the point too, the way he just may want to go there. So it is what it is. Excuse me, man. I wouldn't say 3 years. I would say 27. Okay, all right. Yeah, I think Duckworth is average. Okay, that's interesting. Excuse me. Where we at? Deuce could leave too, and they said there are a lot of bad smoke about things happening at UNC. Nick, we get Burgess. All right, man. I still feel we do, but a lot of people that's close to the program feel like it could go either way. And some people even saying that they got him crystal ball to North Carolina. So but I'm gonna rock with you. I still think because Auburn was in it early, I think Auburn has a chance to do that. Ole Miss and his parents aren't cool. Duckworth is better than average. His downfall is that he plays at Jackson, which is like a 2A or 3. And no, Jackson is a 4A school. But if he went toe to toe with Saraland, now Jackson a 4A school. Jackson is a 4A school. I don't know if they moved up the classification. I don't know if they moved classification up to 5A yet, but they definitely are 4A school. Reason why I know because they played my high school, which is a 4A school. Was a 5A, but it dropped down to 4A. Oh, y'all think they out of there already? Ooh, okay, man. July 2nd. Oh, that's when he's making it. Okay, July 2nd. Important question, man. We got to get to Georgia, man. Important question. Can Hugh Freeze, aka Mr. Holly Roller, grow a beard? I just can't imagine he got the face of a poor English child. I mean, he can grow a beard. Hugh Freeze, I've seen Hugh Freeze with a beard. He can grow a beard. You know what I'm saying? Morgan family is a Bama fan. That's okay. So Marcus might be on to something there. I mean, we knew that, but it is what
I just feel like if you're making your commitment that early, you don't really want to see what the teams are going to produce on the field. You got your mind made up, so you really want to go there in the beginning.
Yeah, that's true too. That's true too. All right, man. Let's get to Georgia, man. Let's break this Georgia team down, man. All right, Marcus. Let's get to it, man. Georgia. Everybody knows Georgia. Everybody knows Georgia has been the standard bearer. Well, one of the standard bearers in the conference in the SEC for I don't know since Kirby got there in 2016. They're the last team. They won the last two national championships for the SEC. If you want to be serious about it, they've been the standard bearer for the SEC for at least the past 5 years. For at least the past 5 years, they've been a standard bearer. 2019, LSU won. 2020, Alabama won. 2021, 2022, Georgia won. So out of the last 4 SEC national championships that came from the SEC, 2 of them have been Georgia. And they've consistently been in the college football playoff as well. And they've consistently been atop of the recruiting class as well. So Georgia's a team, but I will say this season there potentially could be some cracks in that armor this year. In my personal opinion, we're gonna start out with Georgia offense, man. Mike Bobo. Everybody at Auburn is familiar with Mike Bobo. He was our OC for the 2021 season, if I'm not mistaken. Mike Bobo has been around college football. He was the head coach, not the head coach, excuse me. He was the he was the QB coach at Georgia from 01 to 06. Georgia again as the OC and QB coach from 2007 to 2014. That was under Mark Richt. 2015 to 2019, he went to Colorado State to be the OC QB coach. He was the OC and interim head coach at South Carolina, and then came to Auburn in 2021 to be the OC QB coach. Peyton Thorne's first year. And then from 2022 up until now, he's been an offensive analyst, and then I believe just last year he became the OC at Georgia and the QB coach. So What is it that we looking for? That from this Georgia offense. It is a pro style offense. Just gonna be real. This is a traditional pro style offense, a very balanced offense, is what it is. You're going to see, but he has put some spread components in this offense. He has thrown the ball down the field a lot. But you will see him go in 11 personnel. You will see him go to 12 personnel. You will see him go in 21 personnel. 2 tight ends, 1 running back. As well. Very strong running game in this offense. He's going to utilize 2 running backs a game. Last year, I think it was Branson Robinson and Nate Frazier were the running backs. Branson Robinson has transferred out of Georgia. They got a guy, Josh McCrary, in who's going to be that second back behind Nate Frazier. So that running game concept, the concept of running the ball for Georgia is not going anywhere. Play action is something that he's going to use a lot. He'll use the pistol formation as well. He'll run the running game out of the pistol formation. They'll run some zone and some gap schemes. They'll pull some guards. But he is going to want to get the ball when it comes to the passing game, quick passing game, get the ball to his playmakers and try to get in space to make things happen. And he's trying to set you up to throw the ball deep downfield. Is what he's trying to do. You look at what Georgia did last year in the receiving game. Last year, Arian Smith was their leading receiver with 817 yards. Dominic Levitt, 607 yards, and Dylan Bell, he'll be returning this year. He'll be one of the returning receivers this year that had a lot of extensive playing time last year, with 466 yards receiving last year. And the one thing about them is the reason why they have such a balanced run game is because when they get in the red zone, they are going to want to punish you. They're going to want to punish you in the red zone. They're going to want to run the ball in the red zone. So that's what makes them dominant. That's what makes them, scary to a lot of teams because they can run the ball at will. But looking at this team this year on the offensive side of the ball, and this team as a whole, we're going to get to the defense in a minute, but looking at this team as a whole, Georgia has some questions. The offensive line, I don't think a starter from last year's offensive line is back, but they have guys that have played in games.
Quarterback
is a position as well. Like I said, Nate Frazier is returning at running back. Josh McCrary is coming back Josh McCrary is transferring in to be a running back for this team. But this is going to be one of the most, as of right now, looking at this Georgia team, it is not like we can sit here and say we can pencil in 11 wins for this Georgia team. Like, there's a lot of mystery around this Georgia team this year. It is a very mysterious team. Normally, when you see a Georgia team like this, and the same thing it was with Alabama, you can sit here and be like, all right, they got a 4-star, they got
next man up
and stuff like that, next man up. But because of transfer portal, and you saw it, and we'll talk about this when we get to the defensive side of the ball, a lot of that depth is now dispersed at other schools. I mean, you look at quarterback Gunnar Stockton, who came in at the end of the SEC championship game for Georgia last year. He showed some promise. But the thing is, is that something that he'll be able to do continually down the stretch of the season? You look at their receiving core. Now, this is where I think they upgraded in their receiving core. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think their receiving core is upgraded.
I think they got to find a breakout receiver though.
They got.
Like be the breakout.
It's gonna either be Noah Thomas or Zachariah Branch, in my personal opinion.
Keep in mind this receiving core led the SEC in drops last year.
Yeah, but these are 2 guys that came from 2 different situations. Like Dylan Bell. I think he's the only one. Kobe Young too. Kobe Young is one of the receivers that's back, but he didn't get much playing time last year. Dylan Bell is probably the most experienced receiver in this class who came back from the team last year. You got Zachariah Branch, who transferred from USC to Georgia this offseason. And then
Zachariah Branch transfer? I did not hear about that.
Yeah, that's old. That happened in the winter transfer portal. Him and his brother, Zachariah and Zion, they both transferred. Zion is the safety. He transferred into Georgia as well.
I know.
Noah
They made a
Thompson.
lot of buzz at USC.
Noah Thompson, who was the wide receiver at Texas A&M last year, who was catching the ball all on Auburn last year when Texas A&M was making a comeback. He's now at Georgia. So now you look at what they did in the transfer portal at the wide receiver position. They upgraded.
They upgrade.
So, but the other parts around them are the problem. And the biggest problem is the offensive line. It's not an experienced offensive line. It's a very young offensive line. You look at the tight end position. Oscar Delp and Lawson Lucky. Both of those guys will be back this year. And they both had pretty successful seasons last year in the receiving department. I think Lucky was the leading tight end catcher for them last year with 348 yards, and Delp was 248, and they was 24 and 21 receptions respectively, 3 and 4 respectively as well. So there is optimism to have for them, but looking at the offense now, there's still questions, and the biggest question of all is the quarterback position. Go ahead.
I said there's a lot of questions, and I feel like this is what I'll say. I feel like Stockton is an average quarterback, but with the O-line being as bad as as being as unexperienced as it is, I think it's gonna make him look way worse.
Probably. That's a fair statement. That's a fair statement.
I think you're right. The receiver room has gotten a lot better.
Yeah.
But I think with the O-line and his inexperience, he's gonna be on the ground a lot.
Yeah, especially when you look at other teams with more experienced defenses and they're able, and him not being, I mean, there's a thing. Who knows? Gunna Stockton potentially could come in here and not be phased by any of the pressure that he sees from these defenses. But
this is how I see them using him. I see them using him as the AJ McCarrons of the world back when, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna lean heavy on the running game. Like you said, play action over top to Branch. Like, now that I know they got the receiving pieces, they gonna micromanage him. They ain't gonna let him just gunsling. You're gonna try to rely on Kirby to coach up that defense, which, like you said, is up in the air this year because now that defense only got like probably 1 or 2 for certain pieces. When in the past they had like 1 or 2 on every level with depth.
I don't know. We're gonna get the defense in a minute. Right? We're on offense right now. Defense is coming up, ladies and gentlemen. Please believe. I feel that what you're gonna see with this offense, especially early in the season with Georgia, and Auburn plays them game 6, and Auburn plays them off of a bye week as well. So they play Oklahoma, Texas A&M, Auburn does have a bye week, then play Georgia. I feel as if by that time they know what they're gonna have with Gunna Stockton, because my motto is by game 4 or 5, whatever your team is at that time, that's what your team gonna be. So they're gonna know what they have with him by week 4 or 5. I feel as if they're gonna lean heavily on that run game, and like you said, I think they're gonna try to protect him more at the beginning of the season before they try to get to the point to where they and see what they have on the outside of receiver first. The Auburn game for Georgia potentially could be the game where we see this offense actually be at its full potential, whether it's good or bad, in my personal opinion. Because, like I just stated, my rule is by week 4 or 5 of a football season, whatever your team is at that point in time is what your team is going to be for the rest of the season. That's why when people ask me, I was talking to somebody, and I surprised me because somebody was watching the show. And they stopped me. And they asked, like, you really think Auburn gonna win 10 games? I was like, yeah, I feel that. I really feel that way. And they was like, so like you think? And we got to talking. They was like, yeah, Baylor's most important game. I was like, I don't know if Baylor's the most important game, bro. I mean, like it's an important game, but I don't think it's the most important game. I think Oklahoma is Auburn's most important game. Because, like I say, by week 4 or 5, whatever you are at that time is what your team is going to be. And I still have Auburn losing the Oklahoma game. But how do they lose that game will tell me a lot. Will tell me a lot of what Auburn looks like. So I think that Oklahoma, Texas A&M, those two games are the most important, more so Oklahoma, because if you can't handle Oklahoma's crowd, you not going to handle Texas A&M crowd at all. So that's why I feel as if Oklahoma is probably the most important game for Auburn season. Baylor is an important game. You want to get a win in that game to get momentum going, but still the first game of the year. Jackson Arnold is still first-time starter in this Hugh Freeze offense. You still got him throwing the ball, even though he's throwing the ball to his guys during the summertime. Now you're doing it against real action where guys are flying at you, and you actually can get hit now. You don't have the orange jersey on or the yellow jersey on where you can't get touched. So this is a different story now. But back to this Georgia, yeah, I think Georgia's offense is going to rely on Nate Frazier and Josh McCrary a lot the first games of the season for them. And I feel as if by week 6, definitely by week 6, I think this is where you're going to see the full potential of what Georgia's offense will look like, whether good or bad, in my personal opinion.
I agree.
All right, let's move on, man. Let's get to Auburn's, not Auburn. Let's get to Georgia's defense, man. Georgia's defense, Glenn Sherman is a defensive coordinator, but it is heavily influenced by Kirby Smart. Glenn Sherman, Schumann, if I'm saying his last name right, forgive me. He has been everywhere Kirby Smart has been. Started at Alabama in 2008 as a GA. Then from 14 to 15, he was director of football personnel, and then left and went with Kirby to Georgia in 2016. And he's been there ever since. So if there's anybody that understands what Kirby Smart wants to do on defense, it's this guy. And guess what? He's calling plays. And guess what? Kirby Smart is there to help him out. It's not like Kirby is not in this situation with him. And helping him understand what potentially this could look like. Now, what are we gonna see from this Georgia defense? This is something that Kirby Smart got from Nick Saban. They're gonna run something called a tight front, but they call it mint. I'm gonna draw it up for you. So in the mint front, basically what they do is they have the nose tackle in a zero technique, and they have both ends in a 4-eye technique. And I'm just gonna draw up the front line because they use a 3-man front a lot of the times. 4-eye technique. What is a 4-eye technique? 4-eye, if you look at this right here, all right, this is what it's gonna look like for them on the front line. So between the box there, the box is the center, but by the center and the guard is the one gap. Straight up to the guard is the 2. Between the guard and the tackle is the 3, and then everything outside of the tackle 5, 7, depending on if you have a tight end there. 4-eye. The difference between a 3 technique and a 4-eye. 3 technique is the player is lined up on the outside shoulder of the guard. 4-eye is the player is lined up on the shaded the inside shoulder of the tackle. That's what this does. So why is this defense something that they like to do? Well, I'm gonna show you. So say you got your quarterback here, you got your running back there. I'm gonna put it up on the screen. Please believe I will. And we just gonna run this just from inside the box. This is what we run it from. We looking at this inside the box. And if you don't know what the inside the box is, everything inside the box is from the tackle all the way back to the linebackers. Everything that's inside that box. This is what this does. So you have your Mike and your Sam backer in the box like that. Now, how does this help those linebackers? This is what it does. So the ends will play the B gap. The nose tackle will play through the center, but there's a technique that they call lagging off. So he will play through the center and play the back A side gap that the running back is not to. And the Mike linebacker plays the front side A gap that the running back is on. And that weak side linebacker plays the outside. So this is what it looks like. And trust me, my board is not great. Pray for us. We'll get one soon. But that's what it does. So you see the 2 ends playing the B gap. You see the nose tackle playing through the center, but he uses a technique called lagging off and plays the backside A gap that's away from the running back. The Mike linebacker plays that front side A gap to the side where the running back is, and the weak side linebacker, which is called a Sam, or you can call it a wheel. I mean, excuse me. Let me change that. Not the Sam. It is the wheel. Excuse me. The wheel linebacker, which is the weak side linebacker, plays the outside. So that's what it looks like. Why is this important? Because it stops the run. That's the reason why they play it. It filters everything inside and it stops the run. So basically, their mindset when it comes to the defensive side of the ball is to try to stop the run with as little players as possible, because they want to defend against the pass. It's what they want to do. That's what they want to do. They wanted they in this era of spread offenses, they're trying to defend against the pass. And in that tight mid front, they can run it out of 3-4 or they can run it out of a 3-3 lineup.
That's why you go Jared Davis, Jordan Davis. You go get a nose tackle that's huge and control that center.
Basically,
2 blocks.
Basically, that's really all it is. And then you can run it out of a 3-4 front, and then you can run it out of a 3-3 front. You can play 3 high safety look, same thing that we talked about with Brent Venables in Oklahoma. They can do that as well. You can run it and they can actually put another linebacker on the edge of the line of scrimmage if they wanted to as a stand-up rusher there as well. And then they can play 5 defensive backs, or they can play it in a 3-3 and put a dime package out there on the field and play 6 defensive backs. It's something that they do. In this defense, you got to have dominant offense. You got to have dominant defensive linemen. The defensive linemen have to be dominant in this defense. They have to be able to control gaps. That's what they need to do, because you want to take the pressure off the linebackers from having people on them. You're trying to get as much trash off of them as possible. You're trying to give them the opportunity to run around as free as they possibly can without having to have people in their face. So they can just read and react to the play. And things and stuff of that nature. And they focus on tackling a lot. Like, I was watching a video of them, and like they talked about tackling and wrapping up a lot. Like tackle.
It's the most important thing. You got to get them to the ground.
Get them to the ground is what they want to do, and things of that nature. But another thing that they do as well on the back end when it comes to it is they do split field coverages. And split field coverages basically mean one half of the field can play a particular coverage, and the other half of the field can play another coverage. So you can basically have the left side of the field playing man, the backside cornerback playing man up on that X receiver, and then you can potentially have the other side of the field playing cover 2.
We call that bracket.
You can have that. You can have that's something that could be going on as well there. And when they blitz, they do nickel. They do nickel blitzes. They'll blitz the nickel back. In third and long situations, you may see him do a 7-man pressure, which means he'll bring 7 pressure and play man on the back end, and things of that nature. And they'll do a simulated pressure as well, where it looks like they'll send the pressure, but they don't. They'll drop back into coverage. So, I mean, it's important. It's important. This is important. Why is this important for Georgia? Well, you look at Georgia's defensive line, there is not a dominant guy that's being talked about a lot for Georgia's front line that we can sit here and say. You look at Georgia last year. Okay. Michael Williams, Jalen Walker, Smile Monday. Those are the guys that were playing, some of the guys that were playing closer to the line last year. You're not really hearing much about guys this year that are in that dominant role. Now you have a lot of upcoming juniors that could potentially take that role. Raylan Wilson, Gabe Harris Jr., CJ Allen. They got Madozi, Elo Madozi, transfer from I think he's from Army, who came in the portal, who's going to be in that position at playing linebacker, which I believe is the depth of their team this year on the defense side of the ball, which is the linebacker position. But if you look at how they structure their defense, if you're not able to, and I'm pretty sure there's a defensive lineman on this team that's going to be dominant. We just don't know who he is yet.
Yeah, I was going to say he ain't proven yet. He just
ain't proven yet.
And that's to me, that's the thing. That's the uncertainty about Georgia this year. You don't have a name. You can't grab onto a name and be like, yeah, he's gonna dominate.
In the front 7, you can't. In the back half, you can't. KJ Bolden gonna be that guy.
Yeah, KJ Bolden. I was saying it's only like 1 or 2.
Yeah.
To me.
But then you look at Julian Humphrey, who entered the transfer portal last year, who was one of their cornerbacks. He's now playing at Texas A&M.
Texas A&M, yep.
So I mean, you look at this Georgia team all the way around, and you sit there and you like, it's not like you can like Marcus said, it's not like you can sit here and say this team is gonna be dominant. It's more like this team is probably gonna get better as the year goes on.
This is a team.
Go ahead.
said this is a team that you're going to see why people rank Kirby Smart where they rank him. This is a coaching job team, meaning you're going to have to coach this team through the year and guide them where you want them to be. This team probably won't get you more than 10 wins, but you're going to have to coach them.
Yeah, this is like when people say this is a down year for Georgia, I still think Georgia wins like 9 games.
Yeah.
But when you look at I think like I said, that Auburn game for Georgia, Auburn and Georgia is a critical game for them because where it's scheduled at, Auburn should be who they should be. Georgia should be who they should be. And I think Auburn should be more prepared and more in the vein of what they're going to be for the rest of the year than Georgia will. Because they're just so much more certain, in my opinion, with Auburn than it is Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
In my personal opinion. So that's the reason why looking at how this game is scheduled, coming off of a bye after a road game against Texas A&M, coming off of a bye, playing Georgia at home, first SEC game at home. Auburn wins this game.
I feel like Auburn wins, but this is a game that Hugh Freeze is going to have to coach.
I mean, yeah.
We're going to have to see red zone efficiency. We're going to have to see proof of concept. This is a game that I feel like we're going to have to see Hugh Freeze coach us to victory. I feel like it's not going to be a pretty game at times.
No, it won't be.
I feel like, it's going to be a good back and forth. But this is a game where Hugh Freeze can't get down by points and start getting crazy. He's going to have to stick to his plan. So that's my thoughts on this game. I think that me and you both said that it's going to be some games that Hugh Freeze, for us to be a 10-win team, there's going to be some games that Hugh Freeze has to coach his way up out of, and I think this is one of the games.
Yeah, you're looking at Georgia's schedule, right? I just pulled it up just so you know what it is, what it looks like. The week before they play Kentucky. So they have Marshall, Austin Peay at Tennessee. Then they have a bye week. Then they play Alabama after they bye week. Play Kentucky at home. They play Alabama, Kentucky at home. Then they go at Auburn. So I'm saying this. It is possibly, I think based on where Auburn will be at this game, I think, like I said, I think Georgia progresses and they get better. But by the time they get to, like I said, game 4 or 5, they're going to be who they are. But I think Auburn progresses better than Georgia does this year. And I think when they come back and they play at Auburn, I think Auburn wins that game. I feel you on that, man. Looking at Georgia, looking at the rest of Georgia, man, 2025 high school ranking, they're number 2 in the country. When it comes to high school ranking for 2025, number 24 portal class. Looking at the offensive stats from last year, passing 281, rushing 124. They put up 31.5 points for a total of 405 yards per game. On the defensive side, they had 200. They only gave up 200 passing yards, only 130 rushing yards, roughly, 20 points per game, and about 330 yards per game they gave up. Looking over there at the key players, Gunnar Stockton at quarterback, a big question mark. That's a big question mark. That's what it is. You had Carson Beck there for the past 2 seasons. Before him, Stetson Bennett. And you just got to see what he does. You just got to see how he performs. And like I said, Gunnar Stockton can come out and he can just light it up from the jump. The potential to light it up, and there's no questions from there. But the offensive line is still young. That's a big difference. Georgia's offensive line is still young. Nate Frazier at running back, freshman last year. He'll be a sophomore this year. I don't know if he's my cousin or not, but if we are, shout out. Zachariah Brent is transferred in from USC. Noah Thompson transferred in from Texas A&M. Dylan Bell, he'll be one of those receivers that's coming back. Oscar Delp will be one of those tight ends that'll be used along with Lawson Lucky. Don't remember the name in that wide receiver group, Kobe Young. A lot of people, I've seen Kobe Young come up. I don't know if they're high on him or if he's just a depth piece, but Kobe Young potentially could be one of the guys that Georgia leans on as well in that receiving group. So watch out for that name too. You look at that linebacker core, which I think is the strength of that defense. Gabe Harris Jr., CJ Allen, Raylan Wilson, and then the transfer from Army, Elo Meduzzi. coming in. So you're looking at that, looking at what these guys potentially could be and what they could do. It's a lot of hype around these guys. Like a lot of hype. The strongest part of the defense, on the defense, and probably the deepest part. And they're not young either. They've been around the program and they played some college football. So that's the reason why a lot of people feel that. And then at the bottom, KJ Bolden, who should be at Auburn, but hey, he went to Georgia. He'll probably be the quarterback of that defense coming from the third level at the safety position, man. So looking at this, looking at what Georgia potentially would look like this year, I think Georgia's a 9-win team, man. I think Georgia is probably in that 9-win category. They could possibly push for 10. I think when we say down year, this is not a year to where we can just pencil in Georgia in the college football playoff. And like I said, I could be wrong. I could be wrong about this. Georgia could possibly be a playoff team this year, and we just don't know it. But looking at it from the beginning, from the front part of the season, I just don't see it.
Kirby, this would be one of the greatest coaching jobs from Kirby since his tenure at Georgia. If he can take them to the playoffs this year. But like what you were saying though, if I'm Kirby, it's a good problem to have when you got depth and experience at linebacker, especially if you're a defensive-minded coach.
Yeah, and especially with the way that they use their linebackers. They want their linebackers to roam around. They want to be athletic. You know what I'm saying? But part of that athleticism is having dominant defensive linemen, having a dominant nose tackle, having a dominant defensive ends. So if you got those guys there and they doing their part, then it's easier for the linebackers to roam around and things of that nature. So we'll see what happens, man. And I think if they the position that they need to be dominant on the defense line is nose tackle, because that's the one that kind of gets everything going for the linebackers and not have to worry about anything in their face. So in that vein, man, let's take a look at these comments before we get up out of here. Where we at? We had a couple of them come in, man. Auburn Dad said, man, crack where in Georgia last year we just had bad play calling and QB play. Oh yeah, we did last year, but there's some cracks. Like I said, I think there's some cracks in Georgia's offense. Or Georgia's team this year. But like I said, they could potentially play and get better throughout the season and end up being a 9-win team at the end of the year. Just being real. UGA would lose 3 games. Okay, 5 Adam. I got him at that 9-win record, so I can see that. He said UGA would have a down year. Yeah, I can see that as well. But the thing is, like, and let's just be real. We are not saying a down year for them is like a 7-win season. No. We're saying basically from what we've seen them be 11, 12 wins. We're saying a down year for them is a 9-win season, what Auburn's trying to get to. And this is what we're trying to get to. But like we said, we give Kirby Smart the benefit of the doubt because Kirby Smart has done this before. It's just we just don't know enough about the players on the squad to be confident enough to say that this is a team that we can just pencil in to be in the college football playoff next year. That's all it is. And it's kind of the opposite with Auburn, because you look at the talent that Auburn has. We can sit here and say Auburn should pencil. I think Auburn should be a 10-win team, but then you look at the coaching part and you be like, well, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But it's kind of the backwards. You look at Georgia, you be like, well, the coaching should be there, but how talented would these? Well, the guys are talented, but how will the players adapt, and will they step up to the plate to take the moment by the horn? That's the question.
If Kirby Smart was the coach at Auburn, would we be saying it's a national championship team
this year?
Yeah.
It depends on who the offensive coordinator is.
Okay. I like that. I like that counter, Nick. I like that counter.
It depends on who the offensive coordinator is. I think definitely in the conversation, but it depends on who's the offensive coordinator is with this talent. Okay. I'm just gonna be real. UGA is probably one of the games I feel least confident in, but I don't believe in Bobo. Okay. All right. I'm telling y'all, man, Georgia last year, Auburn had a chance to beat Georgia at Georgia. But because that was a 14-10 game in the fourth quarter. That's all I'm saying. That was a 14-10 game in the fourth quarter.
We had them in Jordan had a year before until old boy Brock Bowers.
Brock Bowers last drive of the game. So it's not out of the realm of possibility for Auburn to beat this team, because they've been in the game all the way up, at least to the end of the game in the past 2 games. It's just the small things. It's the little things. There's a movie out with Denzel Washington called The Little Things. In this game, it's the little things. In games like this is where the little things matter. Like when they talk about touching, like doing winter workouts, touching the line when you're doing those 110s. When they talk about when you're doing those gashes across the yard, actually touching the line, actually touching every step when you run the stadium stairs. It's the little things. This is the game where that matters. The little things matter. So hopefully I don't believe Georgia is as good as it has been in the past. And the offense started falling off last year, and it will continue this year. Hey, shout out to King Richard, man. Shout out to King Richard. I think they're gonna get better throughout the season. Who's going to get them the ball though? Gunnar Stockton, once he get it in, once he get his mind right. Man, if Gunnar they trust, they in bad shape. Ooh, y'all not high on Gunnar Stockton. A lot of people ain't high on Gunnar Stockton, man. Saving Blueprint game manager QB. Okay. So they think Gunnar gonna be the game manager QB for them. All right, man. Gunnar is an average quarterback. Shout out to 5 Adam. Seahawks said, man, our defense can cover. We need to do our own scoring and have teams worry about us. That is true. That is wholeheartedly true. If we can come out and score, man, shout out to Seahawks for that, man. We need to start playing from ahead. We need to start playing with the lead and not trying to catch up all the time.
Yeah, because our coach panic whenever he get down. So
I can only pray defense scores lots this year to help us off. Hey, if we can be plus in every game, that'll be a difference for Auburn if we can be plus every game. Georgia's first 5 games: Marshall, Austin Peay, at Texas, Alabama, and Kentucky. So they got a very home-laden schedule. They should win Marshall. They should win Austin Peay. They should beat Tennessee, and then they got Alabama and Kentucky. Now the Alabama game, I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean,
I think the Alabama and Georgia game gonna tell us a lot about both teams.
And guess what? That is 1, 2, 3. That is the 4th week of the season. By week 4 or 5, whatever your team is at the time is what your team should be.
And both coaches.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, that's a big game for Alabama as well too for Kalen DeBoer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Kirby don't got nothing to lose this season. Like I feel like Kirby playing with house money.
Probably, but I mean, you got to understand it too, man. It's been 2 years since they won a national championship or been in the conversation for real to win a national championship. To be honest with you,
true.
They got beat in the first round last year.
That's very true, but I think this roster here, everybody's riding Georgia off with this roster.
They are. I think some people are, but I also feel like they're giving Kirby the benefit of the doubt because of Kirby Smart.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Well, the thing about it, us giving Kirby the benefit of the doubt is us saying that this roster is not a 6 or 7 win roster. Us giving Kirby the benefit of the doubt is still giving them 8 to 9 wins.
Exactly. That's the difference. That's the difference. You know what I'm saying? They could be 4-1 or 3-2 or 5-0 coming to Auburn game. Auburn could play spoiler or hope crusher. Beat them dogs. Yeah, I'm with you there, King Richard. Shout out to King, man. When was the last time Auburn beat UGA? 2017. We beat them the week before the Iron Bowl, beat Alabama, and lost to them in the SEC championship game. That's the last time Auburn beat Georgia. The legend of Sweet Sugar Bear Williams, the Huggy Beard. He said UGA ain't one of them, Marcus. They are the game. Hugh Freeze gonna have to coach the outcoach the other guy. Show you right. Yeah, man. We with you there. We with you there, man. 5 Adams since Moses wore short pants. You heard me. So that's the last time Auburn beat Georgia. It was if that's since 2017, that was dead. So 7 years ago is what it was. Alan Berry. Okay. Alan said, would you rather Auburn go 8-4 and split Georgia, Alabama, or go 9-3 and lose to both of them in another team? I'd rather go 9-3 and lose to both of them too. Because 9-3 would have
Auburn fan would say 8 the first option, but yeah, I'm 9-3.
Yeah, I'm going 9-3. I'm going 9-3. I'm going 9-3 and lose to both of them. So basically, if you do that, you probably them, and those are the only 2 losses that you have in the SEC. You still 6-2 in the SEC, 9-3 overall, and then you're still in the conversation for the college football playoff.
Potential playoff position.
Yeah, so I'm going 9-3. That's where I would go. 2017, yeah, 2017 is the last time Auburn beat Georgia. 5 Adam, no, Auburn not winning even if Kirby is the head coach. Okay. All right, man. He don't. To your question of if Kirby is the head coach of this team, do they win? Okay. All right. Sweet Stuffer 256. He says, bro, everything around Freeze and his tenure, in my opinion, centers around the Baylor game. Overall direction of the program and whether or not we've improved will be on display in that game, bro. I mean, I feel you. I feel you, bro. Look, listen. I feel where you coming from. I wholeheartedly do. I'm not saying the Baylor game is not important. I don't think it's the most important game.
I think it's the most important from a fan standpoint.
Yeah, I feel that because
if the fans don't see what he just stated, we're gonna throw our hands up with it because we already
still the first game of the season. It's still the first game of the season, so you're gonna see mistakes. So even so, every little mistake that we see is gonna be like, Hugh Freeze, what we doing?
You know it's gonna be like that, and you know it's gonna be like that.
Yeah. So every little mistake that happens, you're gonna see it. And even if it's a close game, which it more than likely will be because it's the first game of the season and it's on the road at Waco in Texas. I mean, I look at it and I'm like, I'm not expecting Auburn to play a perfect game or nowhere near close to a perfect game. I'm expecting Auburn to win. Honestly, I think Auburn win that game by either 3 or 7 points. That's my opinion going into that game. But my stance has been ever since we started doing this. Well, when we was doing this once a week, now we do this every day. My stance has always been whatever your team is by week 4 or 5 of the season, that's where it matters. And by that time, week 4 for Auburn is Oklahoma. Week 5 is Texas A&M, which is 2 SEC road games. To me, those are the most important games. But I understand where you're coming from, bro. I mean, I'm not saying it's not an important game. We still want to see improvement. And it will give us a idea of what a program will be. But still, if we play good against Baylor and still go to Oklahoma and look bad against Oklahoma and lose, and then go to Texas A&M and look bad and lose, what did the Baylor game teach us? Gave us false hope.
Because I'm telling you, like, it's, as a fan base, we're waiting on that Baylor game. Like,
of course.
I'm saying, like, what you just stated, all that does is buy time for you. Because if, like you said, no matter if we lose that game, no matter how we do it, we're gonna blow it up and make it look way worse. So him winning that game and showing proof of concept and all the things we need to see, it's just by time. If you know we do look bad in those other games, like you stated.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I feel you, man. I mean, trust me, I'm not one of these people that are saying, man, Auburn. I want Auburn. The Baylor game is not important. No, it's important, but I just don't think it's the most important. And things of that nature. That's just my opinion, and that's every season we play. I'm every year. I'm always to the point to where I'm like game 4, game 5. Where are we? What do we look like then? Because by that time, that's what I expect, and that's what I'm going to expect every single game for the rest of the season. Tyrone, what up, man?
Oh, what's up, bro?
What up, Tyrone? How you feeling, my guy? Everybody, Tyrone made it in. Shout out to Tyrone, my guy. Sweet Stuff said, man, we have to be competitive if we lose. Can't go to Waco and have a cow. That is true. That is true. And that will tell me a lot. If we are competitive, if that's a close game and we competitive, it tells me a lot about that. Even though I still feel like Auburn loses that game at Oklahoma. If it comes down to like the last second, if it's a last second field goal and Oklahoma wins, okay, what caused us to get to the point to where they had the opportunity to get there? Like, were we in the game? Were we winning the game? And something happened on our end when we gave them the opportunity to do it? Or were they in the lead and we were playing catch up? Because if we were playing catch up, we're still the same thing that we saw last year. Auburn just playing catch up. When the season started, Hugh Freeze might as well have breakaway pants and no draws because Huggy not the breakaway pants. Y'all remember the breakaway pants, the breakaway suit? Have y'all ever seen one of those in real life before?
Once.
Really? You seen a real breakaway pants and breakaway suit in real life?
Yep.
Man, the only one I've seen is the one off of Real Husbands of Hollywood when Dwayne had the breakaway suit and he just kept tearing it away and he was trying to sell it to the rest of the fellas on the Real Husband of Hollywood. And he talked about the breakaway suit. I've never seen one in real life though, but that's hilarious, bro. King Richard said, man, I say with the talent on this roster, we would be 5-1 or 6-0 after Georgia. I'm more 5-1. I think we'd be 5-1. I think our loss comes to Oklahoma. And if we 5-1 after the Georgia game, the rest of the Auburn schedule should be, I mean, literally in our favor, because I think a slip up probably comes at that Arkansas game. I mean, because you beat Georgia, then you have Missouri at home, and then the next away game is Arkansas. Is why I feel like the next hiccup for Auburn, if we can come out of that, if we can come out of these first 6 games 5-1, that's a win against Georgia. I'm looking at this a win against Georgia, a loss to Oklahoma, and all the rest of them are wins. And then you beat Missouri at home, and then you go on the road at Arkansas, which probably could be the next slip up, and you lose to Arkansas. Kentucky, Vanderbilt, Mercer should be wins. Even at Vanderbilt, that should be a win. That should refocus this team. And then Alabama should be a win as well too. But we still got to see what Alabama is. Alabama has problems at quarterback position as well too. So it's gonna be interesting to see, man. Oh, Huggy, remember that episode? Huggy, remember the episode with the breakaway suit?
Honestly, outside of the coaching, I think Alabama and Georgia kind of in the same situation.
You feel the same way? I think Alabama's defense probably is a little better than Georgia right now.
Better than Georgia, yeah. I actually agree with that.
I think Alabama's defense probably is a little better.
I think Kirby make up for what that Georgia defense lacks.
Yeah. I think if I had to pick right now, I think Alabama, between those two, I'll probably get an edge to Alabama on the defense side of the ball. Offense wise, yeah, you right there. You got a point. They got same problems. They got offensive line questions. They got quarterback questions. They got a running back that they can run the ball with. And then you got one of the best wide receivers in college football that Alabama has. So you looking at both of the offense side of the ball, you looking at it like, they look the same. But if you go to the defense side, I'm probably giving the edge to Alabama on the defense side. Tim said, man, I had some breakaway Nike pants back in middle school. Joints was like $65. Boy, what?
Tim, they wouldn't want to see me in high school or middle school with breakaway pants on.
Bro, I know about the break. I had some breakaway pants too, bro. I had some too. I just want to see if anybody else had some. I had some too. Flive Adams said Auburn will lose to Bama, UGA, Baylor, and Texas A&M. Flive Adam, I don't like you right now. I'm just playing with you, Five, man. I think they beat Baylor. I think they beat Georgia. I think they beat Bama, and I think they beat Texas A&M. And we did the show on Texas A&M and why I felt that way. So go back and take a look at that one. That's what it is. I think they beat. I think through them first 6 games for Auburn, I think they only lost is to Oklahoma on the road. I hold hard, and I think it's probably a close loss. King Rich said, man, I still have a pair of side button breakaway Nike pants.
Hey, King Rich, for real though, I had like 2 or 3 pairs as a kid.
Oh, man, I had some too, man. I knew it. I just wanted to see. I just want to know if anybody had the breakaway suit, like a whole breakaway suit, because they actually made breakaway suits, like an actual suit that you can wear to church or like to work. Yeah, it's crazy. Man. Crazy. Marks, man, you got anything to say to people before we get up out of here?
Hey, man, see y'all tomorrow, man. Y'all be blessed and be safe. Have a great day at work.
Hey, if anybody saw JT, man, tell JT we said we miss him. What's up? Tell Harbaugh we said what's up to him as well, man.
Those guys are our prayers, most definitely.
Tell Lil Huggy we said what's happening because he just put it in the chat. Tell Lil Huggy what's up. What's up?
Hey, what my boy Mad Dog at, Huggy?
Yeah, what's he at? Where's he at?
How he holding
up? Shout out to
all with them brickways.
Shout out to all y'all, man. We appreciate that. Programming note: there will be no show on Wednesday. We'll be back tomorrow, but there will be no show Wednesday night. No show Wednesday night. But we will be here tomorrow night. There will be a show tomorrow night, but no show Wednesday night. Just so you know. In that vein, man. Before we get up out of here, as always, man, make sure y'all follow us on Facebook at the Water Cooler Talk Podcast. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at the Water Cooler Talk. Follow us on Twitter at CoolestPod23. And of course, subscribe, like, share, and hit the notification bell button here on YouTube so you know when we post more videos and when we go live here around the Water Cooler, man. We appreciate y'all so much, man. We'll be back tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. Tomorrow, Tuesday, around the Water Cooler, we'll be back. Tell your friends, man. Tell everybody, man, that we around here rocking and we talking this college football and we doing everything that we can do. All right, let's see. He said Doozy got his first checkup Thursday. All signs. That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's
Shout
up.
out.
Good.
Shout
That's
out.
good.
Shout out.
That's good. That's blessings right there.
Hey, we happy for you, bro. Shout out.
He said college football fans are not objective. I hear you 5 at them. I hear you 5 at them. It is what it is. I just give you my opinion on why I feel like Auburn win all 4 of those games. I'm just saying. I've said it. I think Auburn lose to 2 teams this year. I think they lose to Arkansas and I think they lose to Oklahoma. I think Auburn is a 10-win team this year. I'm just being real. And the more I look at Alabama, I actually put that game probably as more of like a 51-49 Auburn. The more I look at Alabama, is where it is. Because I actually have Auburn beating Alabama. But the more I look at that roster, I'm like, yeah, I don't know now. We'll see what happens, you know. And I may be being, I don't know, but it's interesting. Here's my thing on Kirby. He is like Saban, but can he coach his players up and not depend on the 5-star status? That's a good point.
This Ken Richard, this is his year to prove that. That's why I say this right here will be his best coaching job. If he can just coach, he don't even have to win a national championship. If he can coach this team to the playoffs, I would say this will be one of his best coaching jobs.
He said, Nick, how you know about a breakaway suit without having one? Because I saw it on Real Husbands of Hollywood. That's the only reason why I know about the breakaway suit. Now I know about the breakaway pants. Like I know about those, but they actually, and I went and looked it up when I saw it on Real Husbands of Hollywood, and I saw that they actually made breakaway suits. I was like, y'all really made breakaway suits for real? Like that's wow. Like this is a real thing. That's interesting. Interesting, man. He definitely back to his old self, man. That's what's up. That's what's up, man. King Richard said, man, great show. Shout out to you, King. We appreciate you, man. As always, man. Woo, Huggy. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, man. King Richard said, man, heading to Atmore this weekend for a tournament with KK. Yeah, we trying to get that scholarship to Auburn. That's what we trying to do, or South. We trying to get that scholarship to one of those 2 schools. That's what I'm talking about. That's what's up.
Like how you South too.
Yeah, South too. You know, South. You know, comes out. Appreciate y'all, man. Righteously, bruh. We definitely down like 4 flats. You heard me. Yes, sir. Huggy, man. We appreciate it.
Much love, man.
Like I said, we'll be back tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, back around the water cooler, man. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, y'all have a good one. Better yet, y'all have a great one. Until tomorrow, until then, y'all be blessed. Make sure y'all get the man upstairs above his because he deserves it all. He deserves all the praise and the glory. And until tomorrow, it is one love. Ladies and gentlemen, guess what? We out this thing. We holla. Peace.
Boys and girls of all ages, you're tuned into the Water Cooler Talk podcast, the biggest podcast in the world. Yeah.
Thanks for checking out this episode of Water Cooler Talks with your hosts, Nick Frazier and Marcus Fitzpatrick. Make sure you like and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so that you never miss an episode.